Hi everybody, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to talk about something different. And this is a Canary knife. This is, as you can see on here, I think you can see it says made in Japan. It'll focus on there. Let's just get it to focus. There we go. Made in Japan. And this is a cardboard cutting knife. So I bought one of these because I typically cut cardboard with my utility knife here, or box cutter. So I've got one of these that flips out. These blades are really sharp. They work really good at cutting cardboard. And I've got some right here. It'll slice right through it. So, see? No issue whatsoever. The problem is that after you do that 30 or so times, this blade starts to get a little bit dull here. So I was starting to have a lot of issues with that. And I was starting to go through a lot of blades, which is why I actually bought last time a 100 pack of blades, because, and I've already gone through this many in just about a year. I was starting to go through a lot of them, and they're not expensive to get these blades, but they do kind of start to add up, and it's another form of waste for somebody like me that's trying to cut back on waste. I have this metal blade that I'm constantly replacing and throwing out or recycling, and and then I'm basically just, I'm burning through them. So I don't like that. I would rather have something that was reusable. So that's where I picked this up. It was recommended by online for people doing crafts that were cutting up cardboard. And, it's serrated. Let me just show you here. It's serrated on these ends. Now you can cut yourself with it, but it's not nearly as sharp as a utility knife. I can grab this blade and it's not going to rub my finger against it, and it's not just slicing my finger up like a utility knife would do that. So it's a little safer, but you can't put pressure on it. If you do that, you're going to hurt yourself, but it'll cut right through cardboard as well. So as you can see here, it's cutting right through it, no problem. And I've cut through many boxes with this, and so far I've had really zero issues with it. It's not as good, it's not as sharp as a utility knife will be. This is still a better tool to use, really, but for, I think this was like $8 or $9, this actually works really well, and you get a lot more use out of this than you will out of, this box of blades right here. Probably that was probably $10 worth of blades, whereas this I just keep using it over and over again. Now, for those of you that are making a lot of little cuts, like if you're taking this and you're not, like I run mine through a shredder. This is going to go through a shredder. It's going to come out the other side. It's going to be in these little tiny pieces, like this is what it'll look like when it comes out of my shredder. So that's not a big deal to me to have, something where it's very big. But if you want to cut this into small chunks, that's where this does not work very well. So like I can cut it, but it's not easy. This is not nearly as easy as utility knife would be, and it feels a lot more dangerous because it can slide. So you can do it. Don't recommend it. Now, the other question is can this cut some really thick cardboard? So let me go grab another piece and let me show you what this can really do. All right, I'm back here. This is a thicker piece of cardboard here. And, I do find that this works better cutting this way with the ridges instead of against them. Okay, you can do it. You can cut like this, but this takes a lot more work, and it had some issues. But see, you can still cut through it. This is a pretty thick piece of cardboard. I do have some thicker stock, but I couldn't find it. But going this way with them, cuts right through it. No issues whatsoever. And for some of these long pieces that I get, because I have these really long pieces of cardboard, this will just run right through it. And, I could take off my long strips that are, about this wide, actually. So I'll cut one here and one there, and I'll run this through my shredder. And that's how I get all my paper ready. So I'll link to this down below as far as this knife, but it's it's something that's a serrated blade. As I said, you're not going to cut yourself with it, which is sort of nice. But this works really well for cutting cardboard, and I'd recommend it if you're cutting up a lot of cardboard and you're realizing you're burning through these utility knife blades very quickly. You might want to pick up something like this to save a little bit of money in the future, and also prevent you from just cutting yourself. Like this one. I mean, like if I see, I'm not cutting my hand at all, so there's no cuts or anything. So whereas this, you make a wrong turn, you're gonna cut yourself. So it's just kind of a little bit safer in some regards. Now, it doesn't mean it's perfectly safe. If I were to really take this and just mash it down on my hand, yeah, it's going to cut it. But overall, this thing is really good, and I've had really good experience with it so far with all the paper that I've cut. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. And if you're curious about any, or if you know of any other products, I should say, that are really good at cutting cardboard and are like this, where it's a single product and not a blade that you have to replace, let me know. I've been looking for better ways to cut. I think this thing works really well, but it's not perfect. You know, I mean, especially when cutting against the grain, as I said, you know, it's just kind of, you really have to you're like sawing it almost like wood, which isn't, you know, the best way to do it. This works a lot better when you're cutting across that grain. It just cuts right through it with pressure. So thank you for watching. And again, as I said, if you have any other ideas, leave a comment down below. And again, please let me know if you have any questions regarding any of my videos. Always feel free to leave a comment and I'll get back to you.